Hey everyone, in this video I'm furnishing the Somerset Home in Old Town. Now the lot description for this house says, an impressive starter home for the family that has big dreams but a small budget. So the first thing I noticed about this house is the size of it. It's quite large and it's got several features that I wouldn't necessarily expect from a starter home. You've got a nice brick fence / wall with these kind of pillar posts. There's a nice fountain out front as you walk up towards the house. The house has a lot of long windows and it makes use of quite a lot of expensive floor coverings, such as the wood floor in the entrance hall. The fact that the house even has an entrance hall that feels quite fancy for a starter home. The blue Bob and Betty Newby's kitchen tile used outside is also quite expensive. I think the thing with this house is, because of the size and the amount of money you have left, once you buy the house on a starter budget, it's quite difficult to furnish fully and completely. I think it's a good starter home in the sense of like you move in and you don't really furnish it straight away. You just place your bare essentials and you just start playing and your Sims have to start earning money kind of straight off the bat. The house has this potential to be decorated in quite a nice way, but that's not necessarily going to be immediate. And when I was decorating it this time, I kind of had this problem where I was like initially trying to keep the budget under 20,000 because I wanted to stay true to the description of the house and make it so that it would actually be accessible to buy straight away on a starter budget. I was going back and forth to the neighborhood to check how much the house was costing as I added furniture, and I changed quite a lot of the wall and floor coverings to cheaper ones to bring the kind of base cost of the house down in order to have more money for furniture. But I still found it quite unsatisfying to decorate in this way because the budget just didn't reach far enough. And I don't know, I didn't want to leave it quite sparse in that kind of, we've just moved in and we haven't really got any furniture yet because we simply can't afford it. I wasn't really happy to do that, even though I feel like that's what this house is maybe perfect for. So I kind of discarded the idea of trying to keep the cost of the house under 20,000, and I think it goes up to around about 24,000 by the time I'm finished. So still quite affordable actually, and I still used quite a lot of fairly cheap items. Like I used the blue kitchen cabinets. I didn't use any shower bath combinations. I only used the cheapest shower. I didn't even use the medicine cabinet mirror. I just used the cheapest mirror that doesn't have the toothbrushing functionality. I didn't want it to feel too empty. I think it is actually still quite empty when I'm finished. But I don't know, I wanted to strike a balance somehow, if that makes sense, between it being really fully furnished and really sparsely furnished. One of the things I kind of struggle with regarding the floor plan of this house is the position of the two bathrooms, which are both at the back on the left and the right hand side. The one on the left hand side is like really big and it feels unnecessary. It feels appropriate for the idea of this starter home being larger and more spacious than usual, but it feels not very practical when there's kind of only one main bedroom. So I actually decided to turn the bathroom on the left hand side into a child's bedroom with access from the main living area, and then I took a little chunk out of the main living area and turned that into a second bathroom, which also moves the bathroom a bit closer to the front of the house. I don't really like the idea of having to go through like a ton of different rooms just to get to the bathroom. I'm sure it's perfectly reasonable and lots of houses are actually like that, but I think I just wanted a bathroom closer to the front of the house. And then the bathroom next to the kitchen, I kept the same. I didn't change anything about the floor plan there, but I almost feel like that space would make a little bit more sense as like a laundry room. There's no washing machine or dryer object in the game, but if there were, that would be kind of a cool place to put it, I think, to have the laundry room just off from the kitchen. And I think that space would be big enough to still have at least a toilet. The other main change I made to the house was to add a pond outside at the back. I don't know why I felt like this was appropriate. I think I started putting a few things on the patio and a few patio chairs or like a little outside space. I don't know why I felt like it would be appropriate to have either a pond or maybe even a swimming pool, but a swimming pool is just going to make the house cost even more. Like that's not realistic for a starter home, I don't think, unless it was a really small swimming pool. So I just was like, yeah, I'm going to have a pond. I'm going to put a little pond out the back of the house. And I added a few flowers just outside the front windows and the sides of the front patio. Also because these don't add any additional cost to the lot. So that's always a plus. I definitely feel there's something about this house you could really do so many different things with it. Because of the size and because the house is kind of saying, I am a blank canvas. There's something very like blank canvas about it that like encourages you to do whatever you want with it. Kind of like I'd say the vanilla home as well has that feel. Whereas a house like the Black Point Cottage, for example, that's also a starter home. It's very like the feel is very set. It feels like it needs to be cozy. It's old worldy. Whereas I'd say this house, there's more maybe scope for giving it a completely different vision if you wanted to, with it still kind of making sense. Yeah, that's just kind of my take on it. Feel free to share any thoughts you have about this house, what you like to do if you usually play in it, or maybe you hate it and you like to bulldoze it, which is also fair. Do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed, and I will see you in another video really soon. Bye!